Okay, I'm live. Good part of the day, my dear digital friends. Once again, I am Anna Dieter, and I am beginning the multi-streaming. My multi-streaming. This podcast will be broadcasted on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And also, I use my phone for broadcasting on Instagram. So before I start kind of sharing the information, valuable information for people who stutter, I encourage you to ask your questions. If you have any questions, just type it in before I begin. Okay. So let me see what's going on Instagram. Cancel. Okay, no one. Once again, it's Sunday morning in Florida. And the topic for today's lecture or for today's discussion is how to quickly end mental stuttering. I am not kidding you. Depending on what type of stuttering you have, you can get rid of it quicker or slower. So today I am set to talk about the most, actually I would say 50% common type of stuttering, which I call mental stuttering. Not physiological stuttering, but mental. Usually people who stutter have both. It's a combination of mental and physiological stuttering. However, there is always a difference. I mean, the balance is kind of more towards mental stuttering or physiological stuttering. Why? It's very simple. Before I begin to explain the simple solution for eliminating of any form of mental stuttering, mental. So I want you to understand what it means. As you may know, if you're listening to me for quite some time, and as I have explained very, very in detail, in little detail, what every human being is. What is it? Every human. So I want you to understand that we all are born with a biocomputer. So what we have and what we use, it's a computer. It's not much different from the computer we have on our desk, the computer we use on our phone. It's basically a biocomputer, biological computer. So, and just like any other computer, it also has two parts. Two parts. One part is called the mind, the memory. For the mechanical computer, we can use the term the hard disk, right? Hard drive. That's where the memory disk is, okay? The memory where the computer keeps the memory. So one part is our mind. This is the mental part. And the other part of every human being computer is the physiological part. It's the whole body of muscles. So we all have two parts. And if you are listening to me and you are a person who stutters, please understand that you were born exactly in the same way. Mother Nature has equipped you with exactly the same biocomputer, no different from all other people, whether they speak well or they make mistakes when they speak. We all are the same structurally. We all have the same body of muscles, bones, muscles, ligaments, and whatever. This is the body. This is the part, physiological part of the computer. But we also have a mental part, which is responsible for our memory, for our processing information. What is it that we choose to learn? What is it that we have learned? It's basically a storage of information. And there is another third part of the body mind computer of a human being. Guess what it is? Religious people call it a soul, a spirit. So it's basically, I call it the willpower. It's the place where the willpower is coming from. It's the something, the energy that we not electricize, that we power our mind and the body with. So it's our spirit and okay, our spirit. That's a good word, I guess. Okay, so, and the spirit produces the willpower. In simple words, it's when you believe something. If you want something to achieve, it means that the spirit wants it. And the spirit rules. Our spirit, our no means spiritual being, it's a fine matter, right? So it regulates the work of our body mind computer. The whole body mind computer is being ruled by our spirit. Like in the morning, I woke up, didn't feel like doing my life, but then I said, nah, okay, I'll come to my desktop. I already scheduled it. Okay, because last week I thought we were going to do it together with Roger, but he wrote to me that he's been traveling and he's not available today, maybe next week. He promised he's going to do it again. Anyone who has watched my last week podcast probably remember our conversation with Roger. If you hasn't seen it yet, I do recommend go back a week ago and watch this very interesting conversation with my very first student by the name Roger. He was the first English speaking student who I taught using I don't like to say the method, okay, the awakening method that I'm using with every student that comes to me. And thanks to this, everyone drops stuttering and begins speaking just like everyone on the planet. And we're going to talk about this simple solution where you can stop stuttering in almost no time if you have the form of mental stuttering. If your spirit is right, if you truly want to fix your speech and fix your life, that's what your spirit must have, the desire to do something good for yourself, to fix your life. That's what spirit is responsible for. Okay. And the second is body, of course, but what can be second, could be third, but let's put it, the second one is our mental capacities, mental. So we need to know how to fix our problems, our mistakes. So once again, when we talk about mental part, it's about our memory, the information we have. Okay? It's any kind of information, all kinds of information. Could be just memory here that we store in our brain, could be muscular memory, could be visual memory, could be audio memory. Any kind of memory is a mental capacity. And this is what we're going to talk about today. But I would like first to explain what the third part is, which is I already mentioned, a whole body of muscles, bones, ligaments. So this is a biological computer's part called physiological, which follows the laws of physics. It simply works according to the laws of physics, physiological laws, physical laws. Okay, so let me see. Someone wrote me something. Okay, let me see what's. No, I don't have anything on Instagram. Instagram is acting weird. No one is there. Okay, Hamid Gaming. We want to speak with teachers, but I can't speak because of stuttering block. Who are we? Hamid, are you calling yourself we? So it's funny because people who stutter still believe the lies of the system when someone told them that stuttering is kind of like a nationality. It's not nationality. Stutterers are just people who make mistakes for various reasons. People who have never learned yet to speak like all other ordinary people. They still act in their speaking like little kids. Because I have explained many times, when we are born, we can speak. I mean, we have everything. We have our body, mind, computer has everything ready to begin speaking. We have a natural talent for speaking. I did, you did, everyone on the planet can speak normally any moment because we have been equipped by Mother Nature with everything necessary for that. Okay, so Hamid, question, answer for you. Let me push your question so I could answer it. So here is your question. Once again, however, I just want to mention this is not a question. If you graduated from school, you probably remember that at the end of your writing should be a question mark. I don't see a question mark. So when someone says, go ahead and ask a question, it means you have to ask a question where if you were to write it down, you would put a question mark. Did you understand what I mean? So Hamid wrote, we want to speak with teachers, but I that's much better than we, but I can't speak because of stuttering block. So stuttering block has different reasons because as I mentioned to you guys, we have three parts of the body. Why do you block? Because block is something that you are doing incorrectly. It's the result of your incorrect actions, abnormal actions, violent actions, self-abusive actions. And when you're feeling the block, of course, it's not pleasant because your body, mind, computer reacts. Body, mind, spirit, we can put it this way. Body, mind, spirit. No, I don't like putting it together. Body, mind, computer, because spirit, your soul is the one who uses this computer. You are the one who uses this body, mind, computer. You are the spirit. You are the desire. What is it that you want to do? This is who you are. You are your wish, your desire to do something. So if you can't speak because of stuttering block, it means you are trying to do something you believe your spirit wants to do it. And you have been programmed, let's put it this way, you have programmed yourself to do something incorrectly. No, I'm going to say it even better. You have programmed yourself to want to do something abnormal. And of course, your body, mind, computer immediately reacts. because it cannot do something that is difficult to do. And when it is difficult to do, the body blocks. I call it with a better word. Instead of calling it a block, I use the word stupor. Stupor. Go to the dictionary and see the definition of the word stupor if you are not familiar with the word stupor. Stupor means you are in the situation when something happens and you don't know what to do. You go like imagine, I always give this example. Let's say you're driving a car and all of a sudden you see the car going, like heading you. It's a very dangerous situation, but you are on the road, you don't know what to do, and you will go, and then it just goes quickly like this. And then you realize what you need to do, and you're back. Okay, move the wheel, steering wheel, and you are safe. Okay, maybe not. So the bottom line is that whenever you are not sure what to do, but you're experiencing some difficulties, unpleasant difficulties, you stupor. That's what it is. So, but today I don't see any more questions. I see a few people are watching me, not on Instagram. I don't know, guys, on Instagram. I'm going to quit doing it on Instagram because you are not asking questions. Oh, Derek Wikesa. Hi, Derek. Your name looks familiar. I don't know. Probably I've seen messages from you on my website. I think, let me know. Okay, Hamid, did you understand my answer? Give me feedback. Okay, if not, I can explain it in more detail. Okay, so Derek, let's see what Derek wrote. Here is Derek's message. Derek wrote, "Hello, Madam Anna. I was suggesting that you enable African countries a discounted price for your program. As a stutterer from Africa, I really want to join, but 6,000 dollars is a lot here in Africa. I totally understand it, and I agree with you. This is why today, Derek, for 3 months, we do it every winter holidays, every year. It's the holiday season from December to February included. We allow students like you from really poor countries, we allow them to join our online school for stutterers for 50% less. It is 3,000 American dollars. It is still maybe a lot for you or others, but I am not the one who created the system that wants you to stutter for life. They give you free all kinds of weird recommendations where you simply will, if you listen, if you follow the recommendations that people in your specialists trained by the system give to you, if you follow those advice, those recommendations, you will stutter for life. If you have questions about that, I can go ahead and go into details. Free Palestine. Free Palestine. I don't know what you mean, Guy. Free Palestine. I am not dealing with politics because it just doesn't make any sense for me. The system is very powerful. I am focused on my specific work, the difference that I can make in this world to make it better. And politics is not for me. If you mean this, if you're talking about the war between Israel and Palestine, I don't know. Okay, so I'm here to answer questions of people who are suffering from a lot of misinformation engraved in their heads. You believe your memory, your mind is filled with a lot of misinformation. So, Derek, to finish answering your question, I apologize. I just switched to someone wrote on Instagram. You said that it's expensive, and I totally agree with you because your life is very expensive. Do you understand me? There is nothing more expensive and more important than your life. And what is your life? It's your time on the planet. The time we live on this planet is very, very limited, very short. I cannot afford to give my time to people and not to get anything back from them. And because I teach very limited number of people, only the ones who have made a decision to get a job, 3 jobs, I don't know, 5 jobs, and just set their mind of working hard and earning the money for changing their own lives. If you are not there, I cannot help you because, as I explained, body, mind, and spirit, 3 ingredients of a human, every human. You want to be set on fixing your life. And unfortunately, I am the only one who can help you to fix your speech in almost no time. It's a luxury. It's a luxurious services. Luxurious. You gotta pay for the luxury. That's not my creation of the world. That's reality we're living in. If you want something that requires a lot of someone's help, someone's time, you gotta have to invest something of the equal value. Derek, do you understand me? Hopefully you do. So, however, if you are ready to take the class for 50% at 50% discount, it's not 6, it's $3,000. You'll do everything you want to put the money together. But if you are not set for this, if you don't want to work hard to have it done, it's not my life, Derek. It's your life. Okay? So let's continue now. I understand your point, and I hear these points all the time. And by the way, if you subscribe, Derek, to my YouTube channel, I think you have been subscribed because you're here. You will see that my students are from all over the world. Some of them are even from Africa. Not too many, but I do have people from Africa. I do. Besides, when you say you enable African countries, I'm not a government person. You got to understand, African countries have their own government. And what do the governments do with your people? They make you fight all the time. Every time I see Africa on Facebook, I see the poverty everywhere. Why your government doesn't take care of your people? You go talk to your government. Because when you say enable African country, how can I enable? I'm not even living in your country. Do you understand? You got to deal with your country, with your government. Because I am sure that people living in your country are also paying taxes. Maybe not. I don't know. I see they show some tribes where people are just living in dirt, in no food. I mean, people are all skinny. All they can do just dance. Dance. I'm sorry. Dancing and just smiling, right? All they can do. But my heart sinks when I see hungry children, sick people. Where is your government? African person. Work with it. Anyway, I'm not gonna talk about it. Again, I don't want to go into politics. Okay, someone wrote on Instagram. Let me see. Oh, Belen, hi. Hi, guy. How to truly with your soul believe that stuttering is not a disability or sickness and stop believing you are sick. You need to take the class. The question you asked is a perfect question. I'm going to give you a simple analogy so you could understand better. Imagine you are looking at someone who is, let's say this someone is a rope walker, someone who walks on a rope. You know how they have this balance beam and they are walking on the rope at the very high, kind of very high somewhere, right? And they are walking, it looks like it's like nothing for them. It looks so easy, so simple. But what will happen to you, Belen? If you get on this rope, will you think that something is wrong with you? Will you think that they are talented to do this, but you are not? Because the very first thing you're going to do when you step on this rope, what you're going to do, you're going to fall. 100%. You don't have the balance for walking on the rope, right? But if you decide, I want to learn to do it, and the moment someone explains to you how to do it, how to keep the balance, and the moment you begin using correctly the balance beam, guess what's going to happen? You're going to feel, yep, I can do it. I don't have to be fearful of that. No, yeah, I need to practice a little bit. I need to get used to keeping the balance. And you will never think that you are broke, that you are sick. You need to experience the balance between your body and mind and spirit, of course. Okay, so when you experience the balance between your body and mind, your spirit, your spirit will tell you, hey, you can do it, good for you. That's what the spirit will tell you. But right now, you haven't taken the class and you still experience mistakes. Most of the time you speak. Okay, so hopefully you understood my answer. Okay, until you take the class, Balin, you will continue to doubt your ability to speak. You will continue to believe and support the systemic belief that there are people that could have stuttering disability, stuttering sickness. It doesn't exist. Do you have your body? Do you have this part? Do you have your memory here? You have your brain. It can keep the memory, but you don't have the memory right here. And you also still don't know, you're not aware of the natural norms for speaking normally. You're not aware. You cannot experience normal speech. Did you understand what I said? Okay, he wrote again. Do you think we need to change on the inside first or change our action in the real world? How can you change action if you don't know how to do it? Valid. You know, I know this gentleman, he's still in high school, and he lives, by the way, in the United States of America, Derek. And he's young. He doesn't have the money to pay. And his family doesn't want to help him, cannot help him. I don't know. Because the last time we spoke with Bell, and I remember his grandmother was sitting next to him, right? Okie dokie. So You can change yourself only when you understand what does it mean to speak. How do normal people speak with ease, with pleasure, with comfort? Normal people never ever even think that they could be ill or sick. They make a mistake here or there, but they just ignore it. Why? Why? Because they know how to do it intuitively. They know I sometimes have a split of a tongue, but I know what I've done wrong and I immediately fix it. This is why my spirit is happy. My spirit knows, yes, you can do it. Okay? You gotta take the class. I also have a question. If you have, yeah, that's true. Okay, that's what he wrote. And also, you need to go and subscribe to my YouTube bell, and it's much, much better. You can see me, I can show things and stuff. So, anyway, GK tutorials. Oh, hi. Hi, Anna. Okay, thank you for being here. I think it's Kaylee. I think. I may be wrong. Okie dokie. So let's continue. I don't see any more questions. I see several people. By the way, guys, Kaylee, if you are here, listen to what I want to tell you and everyone. After over 12 years of my YouTube channel, hard work, if you go to my YouTube channel, exactly, yeah, Bellin wrote, I need to change my belief. You will not change your belief until you experience with your body and mind. What does it mean to speak normally? And your belief will change instantly. Okay. So you gotta understand, after 12 years of my YouTube work, my YouTube channel finally became monetized. Whew. I finally deserve to be monetized. Okay. So what does it mean? Everyone watching me, please don't forget to give me likes. Please, please don't forget. I see only one like and 5 people are watching and I see only one like. What's going on? I'm giving you my time for free and you cannot even give me like. It's not a problem. Just boom, give me like and keep listening. Okay? But if you give me likes, and I also want to ask you, if you like what you hear in this live podcast, please begin sharing with your friends, with your whatever relatives who have difficulties in speech. See, I don't even like to use the word stuttering. I use the word difficulty in speaking. That's what it is. And what do we do when we do something and it is difficult for us to do? We simply learn, look at others, how they do it, and simply do the same. We adjust our actions. Do you understand? We adjust our actions and our difficulties disappear instantly. This is exactly what we do during the class. By the way, Bellin, once again, I don't know if you missed the beginning of this podcast, 50% off. Tell your parents it's 50% off instead of $6,000. Your parents can invest only 3, and I will teach you for 3 days, and I will provide you with a 100% success guarantee. Hope you understand it. Let's see. So please share this link. Share videos. On my YouTube channel, I have over 600 videos. This is how much work I have invested in helping people who stutter in the whole world. I have been investing nonstop my time and, of course, my funds. Every single penny that I receive from my students, goes into my work. I invest in my work. So if Derek's still here, please understand that. In order to continue doing the job I am doing, I need someone to fund me. The government will not fund me. The government wants you to stutter for the rest of your life. But if you want me to continue my work, if you like what I'm saying and what I'm doing, you people who stutter, begin helping me. Please share my videos, spread the message. Only together we can help millions of people who still are enslaved by the system, profiting from you, from your ignorance, from misinformation that you still have in your mind. And today, okay, Belen wrote something. For me, the evil thought keep coming in my mind. For example, this head work is coming up, or hard work. You probably mean word. See, even in writing, you are making mistakes. See, Belen? This hard word is coming up, and I feel something holding me back. That's what I'm going to talk about today, hard work. When people say I have a hard work coming, it means they have not just mental, but physiological stuttering. They are lacking memory of oral words, or if you already know, I hope you already know when I use this word, oosta word. You don't have oral vocabulary, or better to say, oosta vocabulary. There is no muscle memory here. You know how to write the word, and you're attempting to push written word, which is a sound player. The speech organ is a sound player, and you attempt to say this written word, which needs a printer. We don't have a printer here. We have a sound player. And whenever you push your mouth, your speech organ, to say a written word, it's extremely difficult. And you always feel that the hard word is coming up. You got to learn oral words, not written words. This is my job. I can explain to you what to do, how to do it. And in almost no time, in 3 days, you will begin speaking without this strange, abnormal thought. The hard word is coming up. What is the hard word? It's the word you don't know, period. You know how to write it, but you don't know how to say it. It's very, very simple. Okay, let me see. Derek again wrote. I read, okay, let me show. Derek said, I read 2 of your books, Tale of Two Geniuses, A Tale of Two Geniuses in Stuttering, that's the title of the book, and another one, they were inspirational. You probably read the book, another free book, probably this one, right? Give me feedback. Did you get the free downloads from my website? Yeah, One Lonely Climb to Success. This is also a free ebook. They are pretty inspirational because they are talking about people, real people, not about the One Lonely Climb to Success is written basically by this person who went through the hard time in his life. So you have read these 2 books. Now it's up to you. What is it that you want to do? You want to sit and complain that your government doesn't give you money to pay for something that you truly need? Or for complain about someone who lives in the United States of America and for whom $1,000 is like going to the store 2 times? It's nothing in the United States of America. But I can't afford to take less. I can't. Otherwise, I'm going to have to stop working and just leave millions of people who still stutter and struggle. Leave them alone. Just leave them struggle. This is not my choice. I choose to have students who are really, really set for fixing their speech and their life, and they are willing to do hard work for quite some time. You know, if you read about Hussein, you know how he worked. For 2.5 years, he worked 10 hours a day without days off. And in the breaks, during the breaks, he was studying English language because he didn't speak English. The guy lives in Finland. He spoke Arabic barely and Finnish. He didn't know English. So he did both. He was set to fix his life. He set himself to fix his life and speech. His spirit was very strong. Do you see? The spirit was wrong, but the mind was very confused and the body lacked energy. Energy, he had energy, was lacking the memory, muscle memory. So no mind memory, no muscle memory. That's what it is. Okay, Belen wrote, I feel something holding me back, of course, like physically. Yes, but I only have that feeling because I believe I'm sick. No, it's both, my dear. It's both. Because you mentioned that you have hard words. Normal people never have hard words. I mean, what's hard about it? Here, look, this is my new book, by the way. So what do you see? This is a book. It's never pronounced in any other way. Book, book. It's 2 drops of your speech organ. Book, 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 book. What's difficult about it? You simply do it. Mimic, not mimic. No, mimic is a good word. Imitate. Look at me and do the same. Watch me here. Book, book, and do the same. That's it. You repeat several times and the word is no longer difficult with any word, but you don't have the vocabulary. It's not hard word. It like I feel like I'm going to stutter on this word and I do. Yeah, that's what you have. The oral vocabulary, the words in your memory here are broken. Some of them are fine, others are broken. This is why your experience, your memory has only mistakes, only inaccuracies. When you take my class and begin speaking like every normal person and even like a parrot, guess what? You begin experiencing that no hard words exist on this planet. You probably, if you have watched a lot of my videos, you probably have heard, I always ask the question, do difficult words exist? And my students always say, only the ones I don't know. Even after the class, my students have to learn oral words, enough of them. Because how can you speak if you don't know words? Is it possible to speak without knowing words? Of course not. So Derek, okay, I answered Derek. I can hide his question. Unfortunately, Belen is not on YouTube. I cannot show his questions for me. Okay, Belen, what would you advise me so I can't change my fundamentally wrong beliefs? Belen, didn't you understand what I said? You need to take the class to experience what normal speech is. You have no idea what it is. You are confused. Here, your mind is confused. By the way, your spirit is also confused because your mind and spirit are poisoned by the system, by systemic lies. And here you're lacking muscle memory. What can you do? You need to take the class. And if you don't, you're going to continue guessing. Guessing, maybe you're going to guess for the rest of your life. Maybe not. But seeing you, I remember you, that you need to take the class. You have already experienced, Miss Anna, I swear, I remember speaking for confidence and no doubt. Maybe not for, but with confidence and no doubt. Listen, you can speak really well. I know you can. And sometimes when you forget about everything, you speak well because this is how God equipped us. Yes, we have the natural speech organ which works according to the laws of nature. It's called gravity law. And when you are using it according to the gravity law of gravity, it works. But do you understand what is it exactly you're doing that you're speaking so well? Do you understand this? This is my job. When my students come to me, I explain to them what is it that even they can do sometimes well. What is it? But then they switch somewhere else and they begin making mistakes. And by the way, today's topic is, I just can't get to it because you guys are asking questions. Do you see the topic for today's live stream? How to quickly end mental stuttering, balance. That's what we're talking about with you. You believe that it's a mental stuttering, that you believe wrong things, you have wrong ideas, and you stutter, right? Yeah, let's see what Belen wrote. I am starting to have this saying, if I believe I can speak, then can simply speak. And if I don't believe, oh God, where did you get this crap? You need to know how to speak. You need to have experienced the normal speech. And your beliefs are like wrong beliefs will disappear forever. The moment you experience what does it mean to speak normally, you experience it. You will throw away all your beliefs. This belief, what do you call it, affirmations? It's another thing of the system that they push on you. Oh, Belen, take the class. It's only $3,000. We talked how many years ago? Get a job. You're not a baby. Get a job. Go wash cars. Go do something that you can use your physical body. Do what this guy has done. He has done it. Why can't you? He was 18. You are close to this age, right? Go get a job. Don't wait when someone will pay for you. Don't. Otherwise, you're going to continue looking for all kinds of stupid ideas like saying affirmations like this. It's not going to help you. It's going to make you hate yourself even more. Our belief create our reality. Yes, but how can you change your beliefs if you don't know what to believe in? You physically have never experienced normal speech. Your memory is empty. We are talking about mental stuttering. Mental. So let me tell you guys what I'm talking about, how to quickly end mental stuttering. I'm about to tell you the real, easy, natural tool. Considering that you, especially if you have started experiencing difficulties in speaking in the older age, like later in your life, If, for example, if you were already 16, 17, you were already a teenager or 20, and up until this moment, you were speaking kind of without too many difficulties. It happens. I have worked with people like that. But when you started speaking in teenage age, all of a sudden you started experiencing difficulties. Of course, it means that you had these difficulties, but because you were young, you were acting like a child, and children don't care. They just speak, they just look at mommy and daddy, look at teachers, look at their classmates, and they just watch them speak and they imitate the same patterns of speaking. If a child was surrounded by bad speakers, stutterers, a child, of course, has no other choice but imitating bad speakers and stutterers. Unfortunately, this is the case. So once you have, oh, I just looked at Belen. Belen wrote again another message. Belen, bear with me. I'm going to continue explaining the topic for today. So if you have started experiencing difficulties later in your life, then it's very possible that you may have learned oral words already. Not all of them, but a lot of words, if by the age of, I don't know, 15, 17, you didn't have any difficulties. Maybe, again, I don't know you, I haven't given you a test. Maybe, most likely, you have only a pure form of mental stuttering, which means that you believe a lot of misinformation, a lot of disinformation, a lot of lies of the system. And I can give you a very simple way to get rid of this form of stuttering almost instantly. So, what is a mental stuttering once again? When you believe, for example, that written word and spoken word, they are the same. This is what the system misleads you with. Anywhere you go to systemic specialists, what is it they do? They give you something to read. They give you words in writing, and every written word is a picture. It's a picture. I already talked about it a lot. Let's say I'm going to cover this and open only one word for you. See in red, letters in red. What's written in red? God, the book is so heavy. Okay, if you see the word, every word is just a picture. Some symbols, letters, it's a picture. But if you attempt to play it on your musical instrument, which can physiologically, naturally play only the music of our voice, the sound, the melodies. I like better the melodies of your voice. Then you create difficulties. It becomes very, very difficult for you to do so, and you experience these difficulties, and you begin making mistakes. Your body reacts with blocks, with stupor. Stupor in the mind, blocks in the body. Do you understand me? I hope you do. Let me say wave, wave. Okie dokie. Let's continue. So if you believe, like Bellin, for example, he believes that he knows words. He still doesn't understand that words should be only oral. They should not be pictures of the written words. We have a music player here. We need music. And the movements of our speech organ, not the movements of our fingers when we're typing, the movements of our hand when we're writing, but the movements of this speech organ. Dropping. So now what it is, mental stuttering, pure mental stuttering is caused by you not following the natural speech norms, natural oral speech norms, not written, oral. The reasons could be many reasons. You don't understand that speaking in written words is just a recipe of a disaster. Okay, you don't understand this. Now, what are the other misinformation you may follow that causes you to want to do something abnormal? Abnormal. As I said, you want to speak in written words. One, very difficult desire to do, which always causes to stutter. Almost always. It's very hard, very difficult to do. Second, you believe that people speak in phrases and sentences. That's what system tells you. Systemic specialists tell you. They confuse you with this absolutely harmful idea to speak in sentences, in phrases. This doesn't work even in writing. When I wrote the book, do you think that when I wrote the first word, I knew what I would write here at the end? Do you think I knew that? Of course not. So this book, by the way, see, I finally received my book. It's a final book in serious books about stuttering by Roman Snishko and Anna Dieter. It's pricey today, but I do recommend. There is nothing more expensive than your life. I do recommend, if you consider yourself smart, if you consider yourself able to read and understand and accept the truth written in the book, then make sure you save up and invest in your liberation from stuttering. You can buy this book online from my website. You just download this book, or you can, if you live in the United States of America, of course, you pay a little more, and I think they're almost the same price. The books in, what do you call it? Printed. It's called hardcover book. From Amazon and other marketplaces, you can buy it. Now, I'm going to be interrupted for a second. I'll read what people write to me on Instagram. I already have several people wrote to me. Kay Bailey. Okay, let me see what he wrote. I realize stuttering can be an instant change because you can. Bailey, I don't understand what you're writing. You're living in the United States. I don't understand your writing. Chance because you can your perspective on the world and realize you're a normal person just like everyone else can just learn and develop how to speak. Did you hear how I read his message? This gentleman, young gentleman, makes mistakes even in writing, and he wonders why he makes mistakes in speaking. I can see that you repeat words even when you type, and you don't realize that this is incorrect. So I don't really understand your message well. There are too many mistakes in this message, hard to understand. Perspective of the world, realize you are a normal person just like everyone else, can just learn and develop. Yes, I agree with you. Now I got it. Of course, this is what I keep telling you. There is nothing wrong with even one person who stutters. Even one. Nothing wrong. You just believe. Your mind is filled with all kinds of wrong mental programs, misinformation, and you act according to this misinformation. Okay, someone else now wrote, you waved. Oh, I waved to him. Savannah. You waved. China. What are the strategies we should take to stop our stuttering? Savannah South. What are the strategies we should take to stop our stuttering? I always wanted to stop my stutter, but nothing ever worked. Of course, nothing worked, because where did you go? You went to the systemic specialist. Systemic specialist told you you need some strategies. You got to understand your mind is filled with misinformation. You don't need any strategies, guy. You don't. You just need to awaken from stuttering. Normal people do not use any strategies. They just speak. Why? Because they're not looking for strategies. They just let their body, mind, computer work in a natural way. They have learned to do so from, I would say, birth. The moment a baby is born, the baby begins learning how to speak, not by letters, not by looking at letters, but by looking and imitating the movements of the speech organ of his or her mommy and daddy, grandma, grandpa, teachers. We all are born with no speech skills. You got to understand that speech is a skill, guys. Speech is a skill. Stop believing that you need a strategy. You don't. You need to understand what speech is and simply imitate the speech of good speakers. Look at people who speak without repetitions, without running like a crazy teenager, trying to speak in sentences and trying to say all at once. Stop this and begin looking and imitating the way normal people speak. However, my dear, I doubt you even understand what it means, normal people. I see the bloggers, YouTube bloggers, who speak horribly, horrible speech. They repeat, they go, they stumble all the time, stumble over their words, and they have up to millions of subscribers. You got to understand, you're going to be the one who you hang out with. I'm going to repeat. You will become the one who you chose to hang out with. If you chose to watch someone who stutters, who makes mistakes, who speaks like 100 words in a second, attempts to speak 100 words in a second, you will become this person. No one will understand you, but you will become this person. And then you're going to wonder, what is the strategy? How can I stop stuttering? I'm here to give you, by the way, one advice. It's not a strategy. And if you call it a strategy, it's a strategy of God. God's strategy. Are you ready to learn God's strategy? If you are, stay with me. I will go over it. Let me just go over the questions. And let me repeat, by the way, people who are watching me, please share my information with other people who have difficulty speaking. Share this information. Let's begin. Change the whole world. Change the wrong belief that stuttering is a disorder. It's not. Stuttering is not a disorder, but a fabrication, the concept fabricated by the greedy system, commercial system, which first confuses you, tells you you need a strategy, you need a technique not to stutter. And then you belong to the system. You keep looking for strategies for speaking, to reduce stuttering for the rest of your life. What happens? You keep coming to different specialists of the system. You keep coming to YouTube videos financed by financial system, deceptive system, and you continue to suffer from misinformation that they give you because you accept it, you put it in your head, in your mind, and you continue to struggle. Now, I don't see any questions on YouTube, no questions on Facebook yet. Okay, here is the question. Give us practical steps for children stutter. What's the difference? Children stuttering or adults stuttering? There is absolutely no difference. Adults acting like a child are stutterers. Let me put it in a different way. People who stutter are adults who still behave like children in speaking. Their physical body grew, but their mind is still confused. They believe too much disinformation, and their speech organ is still missing muscle memory for saying words, oral words. There is no difference. The only difference is when a child is having difficulty speaking, it's natural, absolutely natural, because the child is still learning. And the question that Chaima, I don't know how to say your name, which you just asked, this should be a different question. The question should be, what should I do to help my child learn to speak with ease and accuracy and not to experience difficulties in speaking? What should I, as a parent, do to help my child to stop experiencing difficulties? Do you see the difference? You say, give us practical steps. The practical step number one, you need to become a perfect role model for your child. First, you need to understand speech is a skill and it's imitation. A child must look at your mouth and imitate your speech if you are a perfect speaker, which I don't know. Most of the time, when I work with families, parents are not good speakers. Parents repeat words. Parents are saying ahs. Parents are not using correctly their eyes. They are rolling their eyes all the time. And that's what children copy. Children are copying the same behavior. Each and every person who stutters, each student comes to me, I begin with this: stop rolling your eyes. This is causing you to block. You don't understand it, but that's what you copied from your mommy, daddy, from other people around you. Bad speakers, they're using incorrectly your speech tools. Now, I don't see any more questions. Did you understand Chaima? Oh, there is something more. Wave. Okay, Belen wrote something else. The only thing that differs a normal person from a stutterer is our belief in stuttering sickness, right? No, this is not right. Stutterer have fear that normal people don't have. Yes, but your belief, you got to understand, what is your belief based on? Your bad experience, your bad memory, broken memory. Because you do, it's actually very legit. Every time you speak, you make mistakes. Why? Lack of memory here, lack of clear mind here. That's why. And your spirit goes, oh, because you believe this, then yeah, you're probably sick. Your belief, your spirit. Did you understand what I just explained? Your spirit is also based on your experience. If you have misinformation in here, your spirit programs you to behave according to this misinformation. So once again, it's three ingredients of every human: body, mind, and spirit. Body, mind is a computer, spirit is you. Body, mind, and spirit. Spirit, which is, of course, belief is here. Your belief. You believe that you need to, I mean, it's here. I said that this is the spirit. You believe that you act in a certain way and you do it. And when you do it, these parts, your biocomputer stops, it blocks because of course, wrong belief and lack of knowledge, lack of understanding why what you believe, what you want to do is wrong. You don't understand it. Hopefully, you got it now. If not, you gotta take the class. This is the only way. Okay, yeah, Chaima told me that she understood my answer. Thank you for your feedback. But we are having bad experiences. Yeah, because of our belief. No, no, not only that. You are having bad experiences again. Again, analogy. When you don't know how to do something well, you will be experiencing mistakes. You will be making mistakes. Let's say you don't know where to go. You went somewhere and you don't know the right direction. You want to go to a friend's house and you forgot your phone in the house and you can't use GPS to direct you to the house of your friend. You decide, okay, I know approximately where he lives. And you may walk in the opposite direction. You may make a mistake with your body. You're going to direct your body walk in the opposite direction. Why? Because you don't know the right path. You don't know it. So when we don't know, this is a mental stuttering. Not spiritual, mental stuttering. And this is exactly what I planned to talk about for the whole time, but I keep coming to you guys, to your messages, which of course is great for you. And I appreciate it. It makes it more fun, our podcast. So I've been live for an hour and 12 minutes. I still haven't covered the tool I would like to give you. It's one of the natural speech tools. By the way, this book has them all. I have explained all the 4 tools all people on the planet use when they speak normally. Ordinary people use. People who stutter also have these tools, but they are not using them correctly. Belen, did you hear what I just said? This book explains all 4 natural oral speech tools. I'll show it to you. It's a very testimonials. I don't need testimonials. Oh, is it the conclusion? Yeah, look. It says 4 tools. 4 tools. Conclusion. Oh, here. I can't see, can't read. It says 4 tools for the oosta speech. 4 tools for the oosta speech. You see that? The whole thing about the 4 natural tools for speaking. And if you don't know what they are and you don't know how to use them naturally, correctly, according to the way Mother Nature set us up, created us, then you will be suffering from making mistakes. You will make mistakes. So here we go. I'm ready to give you. I thought if we don't change our belief in stuttering sickness, it will make it inevitable for us to stutter. No, it's not enough. How can you change? Let's say I convince myself, I don't believe it's cold outside. I don't believe it. And I step outside and it's raining and snowing. How can I believe, no matter how I believe that it's not, no. Okay, I believe it's warm outside. That's what I wanted to say. It's warm, it's hot. And I just put like little beach dress and I walk outside. But all of a sudden, there is a heavy, heavy, cold winter wind outside and rain. It's really, really cold. Will I still continue to believe that it is warm outside? Balance. Understand three ingredients: body, mind, and spirit. The spirit, I mean, I can believe all kinds of wrong things, and the spirit will do it. Spirit is your desire to do it. If you believe you're not a stutterer, go ahead, speak. But if you still make mistakes, it means you don't know how to say the words. You don't know how to say. Okay, Chaima wrote, I think stuttering in children often resolves naturally. You're absolutely correct. Not often, most of the time. And I also, without reading to the end, I will tell you, I don't know who you are, but I'll tell you that all 100% of people are born stutterers. We all are born stutterers. What does it mean, stuttering? A person who stutters, a person who still hasn't developed adequate, normal, natural, peaceful speaking skills. Children are born stutterers. Why? Children don't have any skills when they're born. Do you understand this? All children can do only what? They open their speech instrument, or I call it like a musical instrument, speech instrument. I call it a pipe, speech pipe. Ah! This is natural. That's how all people speak. Drop. Ah! But why? A newborn baby does not say words yet because doesn't have. He or she doesn't have it in the muscle memory. He doesn't have it in the mind memory. He doesn't have any memory of speaking in words. And as we grow up, we begin learning by imitating our mommy and daddy. Imitation, this is what we do. And if at some point a child stopped imitating mommy, daddy, let's assume that mommy and daddy are great speakers, which is most likely is not the case, unfortunately. So if mommy and daddy are stutterers, if mommy and daddy are nervous people, they attempt to speak that a child cannot even process what mommy and daddy are doing, and they are moving too quickly their speech organ, la la la. I mean, there are many, many things. Or a child is scared if mommy and daddy are arguing with each other, and the child is even afraid to look at their mouth. The child is looking away. He's no longer imitating their behavior, speech behavior of his parents. That's when a child discontinues developing his normal, naturally normal speaking skills. Do you understand? So but normally, ordinary people, ordinary children keep learning words just for life. We always learn words. Even I'm 66 years old, but I'm still learning. English is my second language. I'm learning more words, more words. Sometimes I even have to learn new words in Russian because language is something that never stops. It always develops. So each and every child is a stutterer. But as we go through life, we learn more and more words. We build our muscle memory here for each word. We build our mind for speaking. We build our balance between body, mind, and spirit. Of course, spirit is there. Spirit is our desire to do something. That's what spirit is. So let me see what else you wrote. My 5-year-old speaks better during school, but stutters more during vacations when he talks less. That's true too. You appear that you understand something about speech. Good for you. The more we speak, the more experience we have. However, if he still, as you say, stutters, it means that he still needs to learn oral words, not written words. Your child may be attempting to speak by looking at letters. And this is a very, very common block. It's very difficult to speak attempting to play this musical instrument, speech organ. We call it oosta, because it's a very specific organ. It contains only 3 parts, and these parts should never be divided. They work in unison. It's the lower jaw and everything that is connected to the lower jaw, bottom lip, and the tongue. Ah, da, tra, sta, pre, ste. Everything that drops together with the jaw. That's how people speak naturally. It's the law of gravity again. But if your child attempts to speak not like you, dropping your jaw, dropping your whole thing, jaw, as I said, lower lip and the tongue, if he attempts to speak according to the pictures of the written words, he will always have difficulty speaking, always. And the older he's going to grow, the more severe his difficulties will become. Because the demand for presentations, like 5-year-old, he doesn't stutter, he makes mistakes in speech. So you need to simply become his perfect role model. Perfect role model. And when the child wants to say something, you simply tell him, look here, and do what I just did. Book, 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 and do it normally. Forget about letters. Look at me. Move your mouth in the way I move it. Book. Mother, mother, twice, dropping. It's not about syllables, though. You got to understand. What you are hearing from me, it doesn't exist anywhere else but here with me in my classroom. Everyone else just will tell you that if a person stutters, he's broken. No, he's not. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. Okay, thank you for your thank you. Okay, let me see what you wrote. My 5-year-old speaks, but I wrote it. I already read it. Okie dokie. I almost closed the call. You wave. Okay, no more questions, and people are still watching me. So let's continue, guys. Let me finally give you the tool. It's been almost an hour and a half. I still haven't given you the tool. So, by the way, Chaima, I also recommend you listen up, because if your child for sure doesn't know words. I know he's 5 years old. Okay. Hello, Anna. All my best wishes to you from Netherlands, Caribbean. Oh, okay. Hello from Florida. Also Caribbean, kind of, right? Warm weather, no winter. That's what I like about Florida and Caribbean parts of the world. So let's focus on the topic of our conversation. How to quickly end mental stuttering, as I already explained, but I'm going to repeat. I'm not going to interrupt myself looking at your questions. So, number 1, if your mind is filled with incorrect information, if your mind is lacking correct information about speaking, you will make mistakes. You will always experience difficulties. You will always stutter, stammer, clutter, and fear speaking in public. This is something I can guarantee you. However, and what is it that you do incorrectly? I already gave you a few examples. If you attempt to speak everything at once, several words at once, people don't speak in this way. People say one word at a time only. If you attempt to speak according to the way the words are written, this will always block you. And other mistakes, other things. So what is it all normal people do that they speak so well? They do what I just did. Can you hear what I do? This is called a meaningful pause. A meaningful pause. If you truly know, if you have the memory of every oral word you want to say, then you are missing only one thing. You are missing the meaningful pause, which is the most powerful natural oosta speech. Natural speech for your oosta, natural tool for your oosta. Altogether, there are 4 tools, 4 for naturally normal speech. And the most not the most powerful, but there are 4, and they all are very important, very, very necessary. But one of them is called meaningful pause, meaningful, or they say semantic pause. But what do? You run for fluency. You want to be fluent, right? That's what the system tells you. You got to run, you got to aim speech fluency, which in reality doesn't exist. It's impossible to have fluency in the action that requires us to make a mental selection. Mental selection. We need time to select what we want to say every single moment. We may look this way and we want to discuss this. Then we're going to say, let's say I'm looking at the closet in my room, and I may say closet, white, handles. But if I look the other direction, I will see computer, black, screen, books, parrots. I need to select what is it that I am going to talk about. It's called the speech subject, but that's another tool. Today, we're going to talk only about one tool. It's called the meaningful pause. This is what normal speakers always do. When you see people speak with ease, with confidence, it means they are using correctly the meaningful pause. Give me feedback if you understood me. Meaningful pause is a must in our speech. Just begin listening to me speaking. Can you hear a little, really little, brief moment of silence in my speech? It's a silent, meaningful pause. Why I call it meaningful? Because during this time, I select what is it the next thing I want to say. What is it the next thing I want to name? And when I am silent, I'm still speaking, but my speech organ is not moving. Why? Because my speech organ doesn't know what the master, the spirit, wants it to produce. The spirit, my mind, everything. And my speech organ is waiting patiently. See, I wasn't sure what word to say. I took a meaningful pause and I found the word meaningful pause, which takes about from split of a second normally up to 3 seconds. It's all natural. Just watch how normal people speak. Listen to how teachers speak. Why? When they are in front of the class, most good teachers speak the way I speak now. They truly use their meaningful pause. because they want their students to understand them. Isn't it the main reason for our communication, oral communication, for our speech, is to share ideas with people and share it in the way that people can easily understand us? Isn't it? And when you begin running like a crazy teenager again, running for fluency, you're not focused on what you want to say. You're focused how quickly you're going to say it, right? That's not what all normal people do. So here is a simple recommendation for you. If you believe you have only mental stuttering, you started having difficulties in speech at a very old age. I mean, not very, but older, not at 5, 6. So you stopped developing your speaking skills, not when you were 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but much later in your life. Then this may be for you. Begin taking a meaningful pause after each and every word. Each and every word. And see how this meaningful pause, will relax you. And you will have enough time. It will give you enough time to decide what is it you want to say next. Stop attempting to speak in phrases and sentences. This is a natural speech tool. One of the 4, meaningful pause. Our speaking always must begin with a meaningful pause for selecting only one thing to say, one which is called with one word. One word only. Then, again, you're making a meaningful pause and you are selecting the next word, then the next word. And you can speak like this for the whole day, nonstop. But you gotta make sure that you have taken the meaningful pause. It's very, very important. Meaningful pause is a must for every person's speech. I sometimes call it meaningful pause is a queen of speech. And what is the king? Who is the king? It's, of course, the oral word. The kingdom of speaking is ruled by 2 rulers. Ruler number 1, the queen, the meaningful pause. And ruler number 2, of course, the king, the oral word. There are 2 more rulers, but I'm not going to talk, 2 members of this kingdom government. Okay, so we can talk about it. Maybe next time. I don't see any questions. Do you speak Arabic? No, but you know what I have? I want to tell you. I actually am not. Is Arabic and I think it's Arabic. I have one of my books translated to Arabic. This book. This book, if you go to my livestutterfree.com website, livestutterfree.com, if you go to my website, you can find this book translated to Arabic. I recommend go and download it. It's free. I don't charge for it. But also, I want to tell you that I have worked with people from Arabic countries because they would bring an interpreter. Through the interpreter. Okie dokie, I've been live for an hour and 34 minutes. If you guys don't have any questions, then I'm going to wrap up this podcast and I'll do my best to come to you next Sunday. It appears that Sunday is easier. People are not at work and people can join my podcasts. I used to do my podcast on Fridays, but this time I think I'm going to begin doing it on Sundays. So, quick announcements at the end. Please don't forget, if you watch this, don't forget to give me likes. Special on YouTube, special on Facebook. YouTube, please. My YouTube channel finally became monetized. For every like, I get maybe 1 cent. 1 cent. Still moving forward to finance my work. Finance my work because I'm outside of the system. Please understand this. I'm not getting paid by anyone else but my students. And if you want me continue helping people who stutter, please, all you need to do, just give me the like on YouTube. Okay? So hopefully I'm going to get the likes during this podcast. And I also will see if Roger can come next Sunday if you guys are interested. But bring him questions because last time I was the one interviewing him. I asked him questions. If you have questions, prepare for Roger. He is willing to answer any question you have. Also, I recommend don't ask him to add you to his profile. You need it, then you add him. You find him, you add him. Any other questions before we wrap it up? Okay. No, what else? I guess that's it. Yeah. Or also one announcement, one more announcement. Those of you who came to join my YouTube channel and other platforms through TikTok, learn that TikTok is not available in the United States. I'm done. TikTok channel, I have hundreds and hundreds of videos on TikTok. People were enjoying it. I had thousands of subscribers there. That's it. The United States of America put a ban on TikTok in the States. So I don't have access to United States of America. If anyone can figure it out, how can I use VPN or whatever other things to still use TikTok, please let me know. I will use it, but I don't know yet. So lots of love to you, my dear digital friends, and Adira with lots of love and lots of big desire to help you. See you next Sunday if I don't have a student, which I may. Bye-bye. And string.